Hello there, my name is Cheryl Liew-Chng, creator of the 24-Hour Woman, international best-selling author and certified high-performance coach. I've worked with more than 5,000 women from around the world, helping executives and entrepreneurs to thrive in their work and business and to live a happy, vibrant life. And today's segment, I want to be sharing with you a very important component in the high performance framework, and that's about courage. I was asked recently, Cheryl, how do I know what's my calling and how do I find the courage to follow my calling? And that triggered me to share today's video around courage to follow your calling. And this is also a topic that I was invited to speak at an audience of more than 50 men and women, where it is an event where we wanted people to just take stock of where they are right now and take courage to really step out and walk in their full potential and their calling, and let them be more aware of as to who they are meant to be, so that they can serve in the way that will best serve them and the people around them. So if you're one of those who's watching this video and wonder, why am I here? What am I doing? Or I'm in this job for such a long time, I don't really know what I'm doing. Or surely there must be more to what my life is meant to be than what I'm doing right now. Particularly in this season where we're taking stock and we're looking forward to the new year. Again, it's a time that we are looking forward to new developments, and yet we're doing things in the same old way. How can we then ever imagine for things to be different? So this is my video around sharing with you around courage to follow your calling, and I'm going to share with you my own story. A lot of quite scary moments for me, a lot of moments of also hesitation, and a lot of fears that I had to face, and to take up the courage to follow my calling and be able to serve you. So this is the photo that we took at the presentation that I did at Invitation for a group of 50 men and women. And you see the quote out there: courage, taking the first step makes all the difference. And that's made all the difference for me too. Taking the first step, why does it make a difference? Taking the first step changes the scene. And that makes a difference because the second thing that it does by taking the first step is that it sets things into momentum. There is movement. And with movement, we are more prone to go forward. And if I had not taken the first step of where I was, I would not be at this point in time helping executives and entrepreneurs to thrive in their work and business and still live a happy, vibrant, joyful and meaningful life, and a life that is excellent. So I want to encourage you this season to just think about what difference would it make. Imagine what difference it would make if you just have the courage and step up, just taking that very first step. And this is what it's all about. Taking the first step makes all that difference for me. And I'm going to share with you how I went through, and that there were more than one occasion that I had to take courage and take a first step. But with every transition, it sets in motion something bigger, something else unfolds. And that's what I hope for you to find, because one of the questions I was asked is, Cheryl, how do I follow my calling? I don't even know what's my calling. I don't know what's my passion. And when people ask me, I must find my passion before I take the first step. No, I would say, go take the first step, because when you take the first step, your passion, your calling will unfold itself. Why? Because you discover more about yourself, because you are on a journey of discovery, and you know then what you do like, what you do not like, what resonates with you, what keeps you, awake at night to just want to do more, and gets you up in the morning to be delighted to jump out of bed and get going. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's about taking the first step so that your true self, your calling, your passion unfolds itself, and that you are on a discovery as to what truly makes you tick and what truly is the reason for you to be here, and who you should be serving and how you might be serving. So my wish for you is that you would take the first step and make that difference. I took my first step, and I was in the corporate arena for 20 over years, with my husband, raising 3 young boys. And I was very perfectly happy where I was. And I love all my jobs, I must say. And I had wonderful mentors and teachers and bosses. One of my bosses asked a very critical question. And if you don't have a mentor, well, I'll strongly urge you to go seek a mentor. And if you find that I am suitable, to mentor you, I will share with you something that I have in place that you can apply to, that we might explore working together. I had a mentor and she asked me, Cheryl, are you going to be staying in healthcare for the rest of your career? Because I was in healthcare for 10 years. I truly love what I was doing. But it was also a place that has a lot of momentum. There were a lot of first steps to change the scene. My career was something that I molded, and it was not a pathway that was readily set. But because I took the first step, I discovered more, I excelled in it, I became more competent, and then more doors opened. So it's been a wild ride, and I truly love the time that I spent in the corporate arena. But when I was asked that particular question, there was a lot of consideration, and certainly there was a lot of fear. There was an outcome fear about, if I would step out of the corporate arena and become an entrepreneur. What if, the business doesn't work out? What am I going to do? And that was a great fear. But with every transition, there will be fears. Why is that so? Because with every transition, we're stepping into an unknown, and that's why courage is so needed. And when you have courage that is built upon the confidence and competence, and you have coaching, and you have a community around you, and with that first step you gain greater clarity, then you have the momentum to be stepping out and moving to the next step where it unfolds, which was exactly what happened for me. It unfolded. I started my own business. I worked a lot more in the corporate arena, working with companies, and I still do right now as CEO of LifeWorks, advising and consulting with companies, contemporary companies, who are looking at innovative talent strategies to keep their talent pool engaged, to keep their talent pool at a high performance level. And that's something that I still do with the corporate arena. And I really love what I do, because I was creating new workplaces, contemporary workplaces that looks at culture, gender, and generational diversity, and how do we leverage and create better working places. But it came to a point where I realized that one of the group of people that I really love to work with were women. And again, with that transition, there was a different set of fear. Different set of fear was, who am I to work with women? I've always worked with companies. I've always worked with corporates. And then it got me to, again, take that first step that makes that difference. My first step was I began to explore working with women in terms of their career. So career counseling and career management, helping them to grow leadership pipeline in companies, and helping women to step up in their careers. But what was a bigger dream when that happened was that I began to have the courage to look for different mentor, and I find a mentor in international speaker, motivator, high performance creator, Brendon Burchard. And through his mentorship and through the community that I was in, and the support of my family, and my gaining in confidence and competence in the work I do, I wrote my international best-selling book, The 24-Hour Woman: How High-Achieving Stressed Women Manage It All and Still Find Happiness. So I overcame my fear of, who am I to write a book? Who am I to be coaching other women? Who am I? But it was giving myself the chance and the courage to take that first step. And then it changes the scene. I gain momentum. And now I have invitation to speak at different stages all around the world, working with women entrepreneurs and executives, working with entrepreneurs, whether they are in a transition to become an entrepreneur from the corporate world, or at a startup stage, or they are women-led businesses ramping up their business. Again, it would never have happened if I did not have the courage to take that first step. And then with all this happening, I was concurrently wondering, what am I going to do to amplify the work I do with care given to my own work life, because I have three young men in my household, and with my husband, I still want to be spending time with my loved ones. For the work that we were doing, we were rewarded with the and recognized by the Inspiring Lives International with the Global Sisterhood Award. And it was time to take another bold step, another step that made that difference. And I then explored the digital space. Now we have digital online presence. We run events as both live and online. We have our own shows on YouTube and on podcasts. Our high performance coaching programs are available around the world, and we have groups that comes from around the world. I've coached individuals that come from around the world, all through the first step of leveraging on technology. And what a ride here has been, meeting women from around the world, in the US, in the UK, and in Asia, where our 3 hubs are. And then working with women entrepreneurs, although I came from a corporate background. Again, if I didn't take that first step, it would never have happened. That Empire Forum would not have given birth. I would not have been invited to coach entrepreneurs in startup challenges and in their businesses. So I would say that taking that first step makes all the difference for me. And if you are still asking the question, how do I know my calling so that I would take the right step? Well, you take the first step, and your calling will unfold itself. So that's my wish for you this new year. New year, take the first step and let your calling unfold as you discover about yourself. So my question for you is, what's your first step towards 2017? Don't go into 2017 clueless. Take that first step towards 2017. Take that courage. And I would urge you to join these folks who have taken the courage to follow their calling. Join me if you would like to find out more as to how you too can take the courage to follow your calling and thrive at our Design Your Life online workshop. That's the link for you to register to join us on the 29th of December. If you can't make it for the live workshop online, don't worry, we'll be sending you the replay and get you to work through it before 2017 arrives, so that you can take courage to follow your calling and design your life for a successful 2017. Now, for those of you who are looking at how you may work with me on a one-to-one basis, I have a couple of seats that's open for my high performance coaching, where I personally mentor executives and entrepreneurs. I invite you to apply for them. Come on over to the Facebook page, and you'll be able to find all the information when you come on to the 24-Hour Woman Facebook page, how you can apply for my high performance coaching program that's starting in 2017. In the meantime, my name is Cheryl Liew-Chng. I look forward to seeing you at Design Your Life workshop. And don't go into 2017 clueless. Go into it truly having the courage to follow your calling.